Most of the millennials struggle the most when it comes to financial stress and managing their money. Though, as we all see, this generation, the millennials, are killing everything, from having the best breakfast cereals to golf clubs and other vacation goals. But this just proves to us that this generation is way brokier than the previous generations. Why would I say that? Well, keep on watching and more about why millennials are about to go broke. By the way, before we go deeper on this video, make sure to click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our engaging videos and use that trigger finger by smashing that like button. Now let's dive into it. Most people would have said that the reason why millennials are broke is because they would prefer to spend their money on their luxurious vices than to actually go and invest in housing. Apparently, these statements are correct. But do you also know that there are deeper reasons why millennials are considered to be a broker generation? Some of the reasons might be obvious, but you wouldn't believe me if I say that there are also reasons that you personally can never actually expect it to be. Stay up until the last of these videos as we run down through it, starting from the obvious reasons down to much more serious and deeper reasons. At number 7, spending more time on social media. Spending more time on social media platforms could actually hurt your mental health and finances in a lot of different ways. The millennials actually spend more time on different social media platforms than the older generations. According to data surveyed by financial firm Charles Schwab, almost half, or 49% of millennials, said that their spending habits are widely influenced by the photos and videos that they are seeing on their social media, that their friends and celebrities they follow are sharing. For these reasons, social media is now considered to be the millennials' Achilles' heels. Here are other surveys that also show similar reasons as I have aforesaid. Roughly 3 out of 5 millennials thought that social media had a negative impact on the stability of their finances. On the data released in the year 2018, mobile bank firm Vero Money showed that 53% of millennials professed to actually buying something they saw that is advertised on social media. And from the survey of Alina's Life in 2018, more than half of millennials, which is 57% versus just 28% of Gen Xers and 7% of boomers, said that they spent money that they had not planned to because of something they just saw on social media. This could be one of the obvious reasons why millennials are about to go broke. At number 6, keeping up with your friends. This fact is actually not really surprising at all, but do you know what is shocking about this fact? Well, just the number of how many people from this generation will like into having debt just to live up with their friends' lifestyle. Keeping up with your friends that are enjoying a lavish life could be very costly. Credit Karma claimed in their new report that nearly 40% of millennials have spent money they didn't have and gone into debt to keep up with their peers. They're more likely to overspend on experiences, like going out with friends or taking vacations. The modern version of keeping up with the Joneses is now called the FOMO spending. And yes, people from this generation would claim that this is very tempting. The respondents of the survey even claimed that it is awkward to say no when a friend suggests a certain activity that they cannot afford. And this short-term bad spending habit can actually cost you more in the latter part of your life and can deflect your long-term goals and plans. Now, finally, down to more serious reasons. You see, it's not because millennials are trying to live a lavish life. Well, yes, but not all of them. Most of them are trying to live a low-cost life, and it's just sad due to the reasons that I'm about to tell you. Buckle up now as we dive in deeper. At number 5, mental health concerns. Suffering all these professional challenges, financial and economic problems, it's not really surprising that millennials would go through stress or would develop anxiety. According to a study of Bersinger, DuPont, and Associates, they have found that 20% of millennials report depression related to their job. There's actually no exact way to compare how millennials' mental health is compared to the older generations. Although mental health disorders are still poured scorn on, people in this generation tend to be more open about their mental health struggles. More people than ever have opened up in recent years about having experience of mood, anxiety disorders, mood disorders, and other mental health problems. Some have speculated that financial challenges are the driving force behind mental illness in this generation. Others believe that social media has a negative impact on young people's mental health because it leads to constant comparison with others. Regardless of the cause, it's clear that mental health is a big concern for many, and this could be one factor as well as to why millennials are about to go broke. At number 4, the housing cost. On the standard of millennials' wages, it hasn't risen to keep up with the increasing housing costs. According to Student Loan Hero, they have found out in the research that millennials buying homes today will have to pay 39% more than those who bought a house in the previous years. When you consider how much student loan debt they have as well previously, You can see why fewer millennials are investing in housing than earlier generations. The tenants are facing the same problem. Generally, the standard rent today is more than just $1,300. Adjusting for inflation, those who are in Gen X paid an average of $850, and the silent generation paid less than $500. See the difference? Saving up for a down payment when almost all of your income goes towards rent and student loans feels like a pipe dream for many in this generation. And number 3, student debts. It's more common for millennials to have a post-secondary degree than older generations. More employers in today's market would prefer a bachelor degree or higher. So there are many people in this generation who felt like they had no choice but to go to college. Unfortunately, these degrees come at a very expensive cost. Student loan debt is one of the biggest problems for the millennial generation today, and this actually includes why millennials are about to go broke. Forbes states according that the total student loan debt in the U.S. is $1.56 trillion, and the average student loan for an individual is $32,731. If you are a recent graduate from a student loan, you might just end up throwing hundreds of dollars every month towards your debt. This is sad because the amount of money could actually be used in other investments that can help you improve you financially. Many millennials report feeling financially unstable because they're piled up with student loans. With such high rocketed payments, it feels hard for them to get started in life. Their student loan may have played a major role in where they can choose to live or work, which can make them feel like they are controlled by their debt. And number 2, wages are not enough. This generation's wages haven't kept up with inflation. In contrast to earlier generations, this generation makes less when adjusting for inflation, and they face other financial issues. Those who work minimum wage jobs see the biggest discrepancies. The federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour hasn't increased since the year 2009. Even in places that set a higher minimum wage, people still have to work 2 full-time jobs to afford rent. Ganged up with the rise in the cost of living, these just become deteriorating. Many millennials struggle to pay their debts and bills. This leaves them to stagnate in the building of their wealth or investing in retirement. A survey shows that 63% of millennials are having a hard time paying $500 from unexpected expenses, and 6% feel like they're making much more than they need to cover their basic cost of living. And number 1, unemployed. Millennials are the generation that contributed to a large percentage of the unemployed population. There are those who are unemployed, which means they are working a job that doesn't fully utilize their skill set. Most from this generation graduated college around the time of the Great Recession. Starting a career or finding any employment at all during the worst economic crisis since the 1930s was absolutely difficult. Over the last 10 years, the unemployment rate unwaringly dropped. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, caused it to hastily drop once again, and absolutely no one exactly knows what the next few years will look like. Do you really think that millennials are about to go broke for these reasons? I would like to hear from you. Comment down below your thoughts and ideas. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so we continue giving you the best contents. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.